Being an analyst can be a lonely job. You're basically sitting in an office over a computer and you're talking to companies and other people, but you may not necessarily be talking to a broad group of members of the investment world. By broadening your effort in the society itself, you meet people, one. Two, you can learn, particularly from people with experience. You can ask questions, and obviously you can also be helpful to the people within the industry. And so I think those are the reasons why people should get involved in the society.
The man who created the whole industry was a man called Benjamin Graham, who went to Columbia as a appointed scholar. And I was one of his first pupils. He used to take the subway with me at 116th Street and talk about things that are happening today and compare it to something that happened last month or last year and how bad it was and how good it was. He was a very practical person. Before Ben Graham, there were very few schools that had good departments at the collegiate level where the man could train in different industries.
It started off with the luncheons, which was very effective for the analyst community at the time. But then the CFA program came along, and the development of professionals and making sure that was focused was very important to make sure that we were doing a job of developing professionals in our industry so that the recognition of the industry and the recognition of the role of the analyst would become more broader and more respected over time.
The analyst societies of a number of major cities in the United States and Canada really helped give birth to CFA Institute going back about 50 plus years ago, when the idea of creating a set of professional standards for financial analysts finally came to fruition. So it was in that way that the Institute came into being.
In the 1960s and I guess the 1970s, the New York Society fulfilled a unique function. It was at 15 William Street. There was a company presenting every single day or almost every day. And the brokerage firms hadn't really gotten into the company presentation business. So if you were a security analyst, the New York Society was something you wanted to join, and you went to lunch there at least once a week, sometimes 2 or 3 times a week, to see companies.
Companies weren't presenting as frequently in the society during the 80s, and we developed a process where we could transmit the interviews to the offices of our analysts, so they didn't have to be there in person to hear the company presentations. That was an innovation.
We started to bring speakers into the New York Society of Security Analysts because it was the beginning of the 50th anniversary. So we had a golden lecture series, and we had Marty Lipton come in, we had Rudy Giuliani come in, we had Carl Icahn come in, and a few others.
Lifelong learning is very important in the investment management business, and so we start from the very beginning. We help people prepare for the CFA examination if that's what they would like to do. We then continue along a wide spectrum of topics to offer our members education in any form that they need going forward in their career.
We came up with a whole bunch of programs that now have broadened out into what the New York Society has to offer with its education effort.
The other aspect of education, I think, that's really important has to do with being continually reminded of what it means to be an ethical investment professional. You know, our organization is grounded really on 3 areas: advocacy, education, and ethics. This year, in fact this month, marks the 50th anniversary of the first code of ethics for our investment profession. And that code of ethics has been expanded over time But if you read the original, it is as valid today as it was 50 years ago.
I signed the lease on the World Trade Center, so I put the society there. We lost many things.
43 or 44 people working on the 44th floor of the World Trade Center, and they all got out alive, thank God.
There was some loss of life of people in the building that we knew. We lost our records. We lost our location.
We wanted to keep our conferences going, we wanted to keep the calendar going, and the amount of effort the board put in, the members volunteered, what can we do? We found a new home, we got back on track.
We have an immense amount of opportunity and benefit for our members. We have over 14 committees, and each committee is responsible for covering a special topic, a special interest. It really allows our members to get involved with other people that do very similar work to what they do, and they can share ideas, share best practices, share thoughts about how to do things differently in the future, stay current in what they're doing.
Membership engagement for us is being sure that people have ways in which they can interact with the society as a living, breathing organization, whether it be virtual, whether it be online, but also face-to-face relationship building, which never goes out of style.
I think what attracted me was to have a society of, like thinkers, people that are in the same sort of profession as I. That was kind of number one, so networking.
To have the opportunity to work with folks on the equity side was definitely eye-opening, and it enhanced my career in terms of the choices that I made.
We have a lot of brand name recognition, and you stop and tell people that you're coming from the Investment Strategy Committee at the New York Society of Security Analysts, they're going to stop and listen.
Without question, the network of people you get to meet, organizing the committees is helpful. The location is very central and is very accessible. As far as facilities go, I think you pretty much find anything that you need and everything that you want here.
I see the society 25 years from now as being very similar to the society we began 75 years ago. It's really all about people, and it's all about being in finance.
Younger people are very much used to having a very personalized experience. And I think it's going to mean that there's going to be a different NYSSA for every single member of NYSSA, depending on how they want to touch the larger organization.
I think the New York Society could easily collaborate with other organizations worldwide. We've got the content, we've got the talent.
With the technology we have today, I think that we can bring our product to a broader group of people who can understand what we do